What's up, lovers of whiskey and watchers of YouTube? I am the Malt activist, and today I have two very special whiskeys with me. They're both my favorites, and I am now going to pit them one against each other in a once-in-a-lifetime matchup. That's right, I have with me in the right corner the Ardbeg Supernova 2010, and in the left corner the Ardbeg Supernova 2019. Now, if you're wondering why do we have to compare one supernova to the other? I mean, what's the point of this exercise? Well, I'll tell you, and the answer is very, very simple. I felt like drinking some Ardbeg Supernova. Simple. I opened my cupboard and I was like, there's the 2010. Oh, there's the 19 sitting right next to it. I think I'm gonna have a dram of both. And then I was like, whoa, that would make for amazing content if I sat down and drank two different whiskeys from two different eras. Well, it's not as dramatic as that. It's just that I love the Supernova. And the thing is, so the 2010, which came out in, I'm gonna say 2010. Yeah, I'm like pretty certain it came out in 2010. Anyway, so the SN 2010 came 1 year after the Stella release, which was bottled in 2009. Math. Which was at that time the peatiest Ardbeg, actually one of the peatiest whiskeys ever made. It was peated at 100 ppm. Now I know Mr. Jim McKeown came after that and he shattered those numbers with the Octomores and I think the X4 if I'm not mistaken. But these whiskeys, they stand the test of time. You know, they still mean something. So we have with us the 2010 Supernova. This is bottled at 60.1%. Can you believe that? And we have the Supernova 2019 bottled at a very respectable 53.8%. Now that's almost 7% difference in ABV in the two. Does that make a difference? Does it make one whiskey better than the other or worse? There's only one way to find out. As you can see, super pale. This is, of course, the Supernova 2010 that we've just put in our glass. Now, the reason this is quite pale is because this is a 7 to 9 year old whiskey matured in ex-bourbon barrels and peated to roughly 100 ppm. Simple, classic Islay whiskey making. Man, even with the 60.1%, the fruitiness is so strong. Pineapple, citrus, lemon, lime, both green and yellow. Maybe even some pears, green pears. And now you get the chariness and the soot and the kippers on barbecue. You know what I'm saying? Quite smoky too. But that sooty, charry element, you know, like grilling next to a campfire. That's such a strong Ardbeg flavor profile. It's written all over this whiskey. Very tropical nose. You wouldn't think this is a 60-something% whiskey by nosing it. There's no alcohol rush to your nostrils. There's, you know, nothing that's rendering you unconscious. It just smells lovely. Yeah, more tropical than a fiery Islay whiskey you might think. And the reason, these are one of the whiskeys. These are the reasons why we follow Ardbeg. Like mindless sheep. Chin chin. Ooh. Oh wow. Of course, this is gonna happen. It's 60%. But 60% of goodness. Oh wow. So much tropical fruit. White pepper. Oh, so much white pepper. Lots of spices. Smoky, so smoky. That grill, that barbecue, that chariness, that sootiness, that oiliness. Mixed in with the tropical fruit. Oh my god. I want to add water to this, and I know it settles down nicely and makes for a good drink. But you know, we have the other one at about 53.8%, so I'm not going to water this one down. Wow. It's finally just settled. It took like 2 minutes for the fumes from the bottom of my stomach to stop coming out of my face. Wow, what a delivery. Whoever decided that this should be bottled at 60.1% was obviously crazy, but like crazy in a good way. Yeah, so once again, classic Ardbeg flavors. Not the best Ardbeg I've ever had, of course, but very, very solid, respectable B+, in my opinion. Very, very strong, you know, thanks to the ABV. So you need an experienced palate to drink this. Don't go around giving this to like absolute beginners. They will lose their minds. Add some water to it and I think it should be fine. So there you have it. Strong, like a solid B+ for this Ardbeg Supernova 2010. Next up, we have the 2019. Okay. There you go. Again, quite pale in the glass. Both these whiskeys are non-chill filtered and there's no coloring added. So you get exactly what you see. Now, if you see the 2010 and compare it to the 19, the 19 is a tad darker, right? So this is the 19. It's a tad darker, and I'm not sure why, because the formula for both of these is more or less the same, ex-bourbon barrels. So the only bit of educated guess I'm going to make is that the 19 has more first fill bourbon in its mix, and the 2010 has more refill. But unless I get this validated by someone from Ardbeg, it's purely guesswork as far as I'm concerned. So 53.8%. This one is definitely milder. Again, tropical, but more rounded, sweeter tropical. This is more vanilla. This is more custard. This is more pudding. This is some coconut as well. And then in the back, the peat and the chariness comes through. So this one is definitely less fruitier than the 2010, for sure. But still, an absolutely amazing nose. Very signature Ardbeg again. I like it. Chin chin. Wow. Much more sweeter than the 2010. The fruits, okay, it hits you after a bit. Woo! Spices, pinging. Okay, sorry. So the 2010, fruitier on the nose, more savory on the palate. The 2019, not as fruity on the nose, but definitely very fruity on the palate. The sweetness and the fruits come out a lot stronger, and I think it's because of the lower ABV. So you know, your taste buds can filter through the alcohol strength and then find the fruits in there, which is what I feel. But you know, the signature burnt toast and the charriness and the grill marks on fruit, which is a you know, a signature Ardbeg flavor profile is very much there. Again, both with very good finishes. So again, very solid B plus in my opinion. And I'll be honest, these are two very different whiskeys made with essentially the same formula from the same distillery, but give you two very different experiences. You know, even though they're both ex-bourbon, they're both at, you know, very decent you know, alcohol strength. But the 2010 in my hand now, yeah, bigger bite, more aggressive, still fruitier on the palate. Very nice, aggressive in a nice way. Whereas the 2019, definitely much more palatable thanks to the lower ABV. Maybe slightly more balanced in my opinion than the 2010. So I could bump it up from like a B plus to an A minus, you know, just thereabouts on the border. But there's very little that sets these whiskeys apart. They're just two different drinking experiences if you ask me. I don't think there's one necessarily better than the other. If you were to put a gun to my head, I'd say that 19 is probably a touch more balanced than the 2010, but they're both powerhouses of whiskeys and a reminder why it is that we still love that distillery, because they can produce this stuff and we know they can do it. And yes, you know, from time to time they let us down, and what are you gonna do? You know, that's the state of the industry now. But it's nice to be reminded from time to time what these guys could do. I mean, the 2019 is a very recent release, so I'm extremely happy with that. I'm liking the stuff that's coming out of Ardbeg now. Is it super expensive? Yeah, of course it is. But you know, you have to understand, Ardbeg is not setting the prices, LVMH is. So don't blame Ardbeg for how expensive the whiskey is. Blame Ardbeg if you don't like the whiskey. Or you know, give them props if you do like it. But don't blame Ardbeg for how expensive it is. They have nothing to do with that. It's LVMH, and we all know that. There's a certain quality in Ardbeg or Islay whiskeys that the moment I drink them, I get transported to the island. And it's, you know, with both of them, that's exactly what I'm feeling. I get that tinge of nostalgia, which is always nice. And that's one of the reasons why I drink these whiskeys, because even momentarily they take me back to the place that you know, I love. So yeah, there you have it. 2010 Supernova versus the 2019. In my opinion, both more or less the same. The 19 may be a touch better if you were to put a gun to my head. So cool, I'm glad I did this video because now I've got a couple of drams to sit with and chill, and they're both very nice. So yeah, good to be me. And thank you for joining me for this wonderful head-to-head. I'm the Malt Activist. Until next time, peace.